Yeah, I think Wingblade was saying the other day as well that silencer, you always wonder where you need to put this global silencer, and where in the fight you need to use it. But when there's a Bane on the field, it's just the immediate answer is as soon as that Fiend script goes. So, like you say, then yeah, the silencer is going to play to sabotage this Bane, and Nemiga looking to get this one off. So, Gambit actually go for the Lycan. That's going to be the push potential coming up for them. And looking at this lineup now as well for Gambit, I assume Lycan in the off lane, Puck in the mid lane, so they're going to be looking for a safe lane hero. Do you want to be? Is there anything you like against the silencer as well? Because maybe, I mean, heroes like the Juggernaut, maybe a BKB builder that comes out. Is there anything you like for Gambit to pick up against Nemiga here?
I wonder if this Lycan is going to be offlane or carry. It seems like they are still keeping it as a flex, because if they want to, we can see the Lycan, play towards the Aghanims, and then just put someone to the Lycan form. And that means if they want to go for that route, I can see heroes like Tiny still in the pool, Wraith King still in the pool. These heroes can easily burst down Spiritbreaker and Silencer once given the Lycan form. So yeah. I feel like Gambit Esports, they probably want to look at this fourth pick from the Nemiga first, because they don't have much time, which also means that they need to think a lot more faster. Nyx Assassin is more like, all right, guys, we need a little bit more for this Queen of Pain, because Bane is gonna get heavily countered here, and Puck alone won't be enough for the Queen of Pain. So let's bring in the Nyx Assassin.
Oh, the Chaos Knight as well.
Cool.
Yeah, the Nyx Assassin as well. This is so. For me, the strat is Gambit are going to feed all their intelligence over to the Silencer, and the Nyx is just going to use the mana burn to one-shot him in every fight to make sure he can't get that global off. But Chaos Knight coming through now as well. So, Chaos Knight, I've seen him being played in the off lane a couple of times. Do you think he's more comfortable here, safe lane or off lane? Or again, do you think they could flex with them having last pick, flex pick with his Chaos Knight?
Oh, I think they are definitely keeping it as a flex here. Queen of Pain and CK, they both have a lot of flexibility, so this is a little bit hard for Gambit to draft into. So I feel like for Gambit, they probably want to look at themselves. All right, guys, what makes our draft full here, instead of looking to counter what Nemiga already proposed. I have got to be honest, because I mainly covered the SEA scene, and I've never seen Chaos Knight for like months. like maybe like 3 months. The only one that played this hero is Mizu from Nigma Galaxy C, and ever since that I haven't seen that before. So I'm very intrigued to see what CK can do in this patch, and especially against this Gambit Esports lineup. I do feel like it gives a lot of burst damage. It could be very good against Bane, could be very good against Puck too. But most importantly, I feel like those disables are gonna come in very handy. If you manage to chain stun the Puck with those Chaos Bolt, I think Gambit with no save so far could be a very, they could find it very hard to deal with this CK.
What would you think about the Terrorblade then? Because if the Terrorblade gets an early BKB, even if he's dragged in by the Reality Drift, he's always going to have, if the Phantasms go and the Chaos Knight's got to be careful about being sundered. Do you think that's something that Gambit could look at here, or is there anything else that you like for Gambit to be picking up?
I feel like some ways to deal with the CK illusions look pretty important here, because they don't have much wave clear or any kind of summon units clear. So something like I still wouldn't mind to see something like a Tiny or like a Wraith King.
So what about Faceless Void? Oh, Phantom Lancer. Okay, never mind.
Okay, so to fight illusions, they bring their own illusion hero. All right, interesting. I wouldn't say this is an easy PR game, because there's still a lot of picks that Nemiga can run here. But I guess they have already kind of prepared themselves for it, right? Because they banned out the Tide, they banned out the LC, who are a pretty good hero against the PL. So let's see if Nemiga wants to put this CK on 3, or would they want to find an offlane that could deal with the PL? Because heroes like Timbersaw is still in the pool.
Yeah, just thinking as well. I mean, they're going through this. They've got themselves a minute to think about this, so they don't need to rush it through. Like I say, they can flex the Queen of Pain, can flex the Chaos Knight if they wanted to. And I'm just thinking, because Spirit Breaker, is going to be able to charge through onto the Lycan wherever the Lycan's pushing out. So Lycan, but the Nyx Assassin's going to be able to protect in the Vendetta form. Okay, it's going to be the Kunkka that will deal with illusions, but it's going to be the Aincrad Kunkka, so not the position 1, the Chaos Knight of position 1. So is this offlane? It's going to be the offlane Queen of Pain.
Alright, interesting. I guess they just think that putting the Queen of Pain on the offlane could pressure the PL, and then Aincrad on the Kunkka is gonna be the quote to quote winning condition, right? Because we have seen a lot of Kunkka just built into heavy DPS that can definitely deal with the illusions to some degree. And Chaos Knight, I think this hero is gonna be the biggest X factor in this game. I am really not sure what are we expecting from this hero, but one thing for sure is that Nemiga, their early game fighting potential is really, really strong. And for Gambit Esports, they kind of have to play towards their timing. You need to play around the Lycan ultimate, and then you kind of need to wait for PL to hit his own timing as well, because he's quite susceptible to all the disables and global silence from Nemiga. So he will want to have his diffusal blade up, his mental up to really feel comfortable in the team fight. And I think this is gonna give Nemiga some sort of timings and windows for them to really establish their early game advantage.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see how this is going to play out, because Gambit, like I say, they want this win. They kind of need this win to get them through into... I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure it puts them into playoffs then with Fantastic 5. So, getting ourselves into game number 2. Are Gambit going to be able to do it? Can they bring themselves to win this series 2-0 and get a little bit of confidence before the playoffs, the tiebreakers, or Nemiga either going to drag it back, maybe crush the dreams of Gambit, and just send them out here and now?
However, though, I do feel like Gambit, they are looking pretty comfortable with their own lineup here, because you can tell that all 3 cores are playing their own comfortable heroes. So it does seem like, maybe they couldn't find any solutions to this CK. Maybe they are getting thrown off as well. So when that happens, goes back to your comfortable hero, and it could never go wrong. At least, when it comes to the drafting phase, at least I feel like they all still feel pretty confident, and this is nothing that they are too unfamiliar about, so that is a good sign.
Okay, well, let's see how this is going to play out. Vansco already planting his flag, so maybe saying that this is the line that you won't cross there, Gambit.
Wait, he consumed her salve on my score, and he got the teeth. What? I think he wanted to plant the flag, and then he misclicked on his salve.
Oh well, okay. At least no one on the other team saw, so Gambit can't drop tips to make it even worse. Not even only in pro players, that's like every pub game. Pantomim's got to be stepping up. Heaven gets the first hit bash onto Pantomim, so Pantomim just immediately backs himself away. And Nyx. So this is going to be the off-lane Nyx Assassin with the Lycan in this lane. How do you think this plays out up against the Chaos Knight?
Chaos Knight is going to have a pretty good time, honestly. Nyx Assassin, not the naturally not the strong hero that you want to be having to protect a weak offlane, and Lycan is a pretty weak offlane. All he want to do is to farm. I think CK plus Silencer have a lot of killing potential over them, so I think this is where Nemiga would probably want to be a lot more aggressive, because Gambit, all they want to do is to farm, is to make sure that they grow nicely and not feed too many kills up here, especially against Silencer, right? You don't want to give away any kind of intelligence to that, and you can see Sayu instantly going to the second wave to pull that off.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the last couple of games we saw with, I think it was Fantastic 5 that played at the Silencer, that they went for the first point into the Glaives of Wisdom, but it looks like Vansco's going for that more... I guess classic in this patch build, where you go for like the 4-0-4 build. We'll have to see if he actually does pick up any points into the Glaives earlier on, just to see if he, if there's any kill potential that gets him some early intelligence. But yeah, for now it looks like it is going to be the more, like I say, the classic 4-0-4 in terms of skill build.
Yeah, seems like it. I think whenever you see a Silencer getting Arcane Curse in level 1, you know that they want to do some kind of level 1 Q attempt, but they are really not giving that, because Zayu with the boost of trap, with boost of speed is already able to kind of disrupt the equilibrium of the lane. So Lycan should be able to get to his Helm of Iron Will without too much disruption or interruption.
Yeah, and Afterlife, it looks like the lane pulls all the way back. Sayu's taking some harass, but he's, like you say, he's going to be fine. Do you think at level 2 he's just going to go straight for the mana burn, for that harass onto Vanscore? Or do you think he goes for the Spike Carapace because it is just going to be the mana burn? Okay,
yeah. I think that's smart. I think you want to... Oh, hold on.
Leonarthur comes out with the Chaos Ball. Are they going to be able to do enough damage to Afterlife? Afterlife's going to try and TP himself away. Is it going to be enough? No. And Lycan, he doesn't even go back towards the full fountain. He's just going to go back towards the tier 1. He's got himself tangos. No salves, though, so maybe it's going to be the save from Sayu, who's holding that healing salve. Vanscore, though, the Korean might go down. It's going to be able to walk itself away. But yeah, Lycan has to walk up. Has to be really careful because Silence is not too far away. And this is just wasting... I suppose it's a little bit better than going back to base, but it's going to waste a lot of time here for the Lycan.
Yeah, either way, I think he will be wasting quite a lot of time because Vanscore got a very good interruption on the pull that Sayu was trying to do. So entire Crit Wave goes right into Kiritish, CK, and he's going to get a lot of solo XP from this. And fortunately, though, the saving grace here for the Lycan is that he's approaching his Helmet Iron Wheel very soon. Yeah. So when that arrives, it's going to be harder for Nemiga safe lane duo to get a kill on him.
And looking at Kiritish, so it looks like he's going to be going towards a Hand of Midas after the Power Treads, after the Soul Ring. So it is going to be Soul Ring, but yeah, he wants that Hand of Midas. Oh, are they going to try and pull him in? No, Sayu is only level 2, so he doesn't have that Spike Carapace, but he is still going to be able to walk himself away. Meanwhile, let's check out the other lanes. It looks like Aincrad, he's going to try and trade the Harass with Melduel. Puck, though, he's got himself another Clarity coming out. So going to be able to... Well, he needs to be careful because of the Tidebringers. But it looks like he's going to be able to get himself a decent amount of mana back. He's already got himself the bottle there as well, which is going to mean that he's throwing this around. I mean, you look at Aincrad, he's sitting top of the last hits, but he's not half taking some harass coming through from the Puck here. He's, in fact, going to go for his own bottle as well.
Yeah. So far, it looks like a very quiet game. I think both sides, they are just looking for a stability in the lane. Vanscore is not able, they're not able to snatch the water in away. It's looking pretty quiet here. I'm not sure who's, winning from this very quiet laning phase. I feel like both sides, they don't mind at all to be farming and scaling. But at one point, I feel like Nemiga, they have to be the one striking first. Because Gambit with the PL, this is a pretty good game for PL to carry, I think. And also we have seen how much damage Manojo can do on the Puck too, if you give him enough net worth to play around. So I would say Nemiga, they want to skill, but at one point they need to find an opening. They need to find some way to strike, and those fights needs to be big.
Well, we'll see what they can do here. I mean, the bottom lane, it looks like Chosen One is going to go for an early point into the Shadow Strike. Usually with the Queen of Pains, we're seeing like a 3-3 build coming out for the Queen of Pains, but at the minute, yeah, it is going to be at least 1 point into the Shadow Strike, maybe just to try and deal with Pantomime. But it's going to be interesting to see what the Queen of Pain builds into, because Queen of Pain, he's already gone for the 3 Node Tasmans in this lane here, where usually you see a couple of them into the bottle. Obviously, it's more of a mid lane build, and then straight into the Kaya. Whether the Queen of Pain is going to go for the Boots of Travel here as well, or whether he thinks the Power Treads are going to be better, it's going to be interesting, because I don't see the off-lane Queen of Pain a lot at the minute. So, just to see which way it builds into, I really do want to keep an eye on Chosen One in this lane.
Yeah, I'm actually quite surprised that he put the point down on Shadow Strike. I thought he was just going to completely give up this and going to the 0-4-4 build that we have been seeing a lot on Queen of Pain, which allow her to fight a little bit more aggressive, get those early max blinks up so that she can jump in and out in the fight. But yeah, this triple now build is looking like she just want to stay on this lane and get whatever farm that she can, because very soon PL, that this hero wants to go into jungle once level 6 is up.
Yeah, looks like they're going to be able to get the charge onto Pantomime. Well, Pantomime can get himself away from this. The boat won't connect. I don't think there was an X marks the spot, was there? No, it wasn't used, so they can't drag the Bane back into the boat Torrent combination. And Pantomime even gives the tip over to Heaven for saying, thank you for knocking me out the way. That could have been nasty if he'd got caught in that combo. Could have potentially been the first blood, but instead he's just going to be able to de-ward, move himself over back towards the bottom lane. And looking at this level 3 on the Spirit Breaker as well, so he's He's looking to charge off, he's looking to get aggressive, looking to roam, but Pantomime is just matching him 1-for-1, and Pantomime now, again, has that Brain Sap, so any damage that Heaven does can be mitigated by the Brain Sap. It looks like Heaven behind the tree, so he's going to try and TP himself away. Do they want to try and charge on this? It's going to be the Reality Rift with the Chaos Ball. Do they have the damage to take him down? The charge is going to be there onto Afterlife, but with the Earth Spike, is it going to be enough? Charging through onto the trees, it looks like Afterlife might actually go down here. And the kill will go the way of Heaven now, but there's going to be the rotation from Pantomime a little bit too late. Melajul moves himself in now as well. Can they get themselves away? Kiritich, it's level 8, so the Dream Call's going to be dropped, and Kiritich not going to be able to get himself away in the TP. So it looks like they may be able to trade out 2 kills here for the one onto Afterlife Kiritich. Well, there's the Nightmare just to keep him locked down for a little bit longer as they deal with Heaven. The Orb does come through, but the charge away for Heaven, so it's going to be at least a kill onto Kiritich. It looks like, are they saving this for Melajul? It looks like they're playing around it. Melajul, it's... What? Where did he die? He died to creeps, maybe?
Yeah, I think he died to the tower shot, but Kiritich, yeah, went down to Melajul. I think the fact that the Chaos Knight was buying so much time, was wasting so much time of Gambit to kill him, is actually really bad for he himself, because he was losing a lot of time of farming. But then again, he used his TP there, you know, unfortunately got stopped by the puck. So very good rotation coming out from Melajul. I think that could be game breaking here, because this, you know, CK was having a very good time, and this actually gave like a lot of space for him to recover from this very bad lane that he had.
Yeah, I mean, the Lycan went down at the very beginning of the fight, so by the time that this fight was going on and on, like you say, that the Lycan was already back alive and looking to... He wasn't even bothered about getting involved because he knew Kiritich had no way out. Like you say, the TP got cancelled by the Dream Coil, so he knew he could just come back to lane and just carry on farming. He didn't need to be there because Kiritich was going to die to Melajul, and Melajul, he's starting off already, I mean, 8.5 minutes in, but he's 1 kill and 1 assist. So... are we going to see him pick up where he left off on this puck? It looks more than likely at the minute. And let's see what...
Yeah, it seems like he wants to build into the Wishblade, so not giving that much respect to the global silence. And yeah, I mean, this is the thing about a lot of confidence puck player, right? Like a lot of time, it is a game that on paper it looks like, all right, this is a game that you must buy yours. There's no way you don't buy. But for good puck players, a lot of time they trust the ability to overcome these counters. And yeah, it seems like this is the direction that Melajul is going. So I'm very intrigued to see what will happen after this. Because if he does get punished though, and switching to use might be too late for him. Yeah. So this is a build where you are taking this risk, so you can't make any mistakes.
Would you think then if the Yules gets a little bit too late in the build, would you see, because we saw him go for the Octarine last game, do you think instead of that he'd go for something like the BKB and just kind of bank on the fact that the Silencer wouldn't be able to get out a really quick refresher?
Oh, I think refresher on the Silencer, I mean, it sounds very good, but it is definitely a little bit far-fetched. Because this hero doesn't have much to really farm, unless you get a Philosopher Stone.
Sayo comes through. The Zero is going to be the Spike Carapace though, the charge from Heaven. It's going to be keeping him locked down, and Aincrad just shrugs off the Spike Carapace. Gets that last right click there with the double damage rune. So he's going to be able to move himself over now, but the Helm of the Dominator at least is up for the Lycan, so he's going to be able to pick up the State of Tormentor, which... are they going to try and shut down Afterlife? Because Kiritich has already moved himself into jungle, level 7. He's got that Hand of Midas out. Yeah, it's going to be the Soul Rank to follow up now as well as an Armlet. So Kiritich looks like he's not bothered about this lane at all. So Lycan's going to get free reign unless they try and move themselves around and shut it down. But mid lane, there's going to be a lot of damage coming over to Chosen One. Chosen One's going to be cleaned up by Puck. Puck going to be silenced up. Is the drag back going to be there? No, the Bane Nightmare though. It's not going to be enough, and Melajul will be taken down as Heaven claims that kill. 4 heroes, 5 heroes in the mid lane looking for the aggression. It looks like they're not done just yet. Pantomime trying to run himself away, uses that brain sap, but one more right click. No, stick charges are going to keep him alive for a little bit longer as the charge comes in. X marks the spot as well, and that's going to mark his grave as Pantomime gets killed off Heaven with the double kill.
Wow, that was such a good attempt coming out from the Bane, but unfortunately just not quite enough to save his puck. And very good rotation coming out from Nemiga too. They know that, alright guys, we don't have much pushing tower, so let's play around this siege timing a little bit more. So they brought more numbers to the mid lane. They didn't stay here to finish though, because they ran out of their spells. But then again, it's still a pretty good pressure on the tower. They should be able to bring this down if they play around the next siege wave. But yeah, definitely a very good start for them so far. 2k gold already for Nemiga. So compared to the last game, this game looks like they are a little bit more confident and comfortable.
Yeah. And you can see the Kunker as well. You can see how confident, like you say, they are, that he's just diving through the Gambit jungle. He's not even really paying to the respect that there could be a rotation from the puck. You know, Aincrad could be taken out. He's just happy to move through. Who are they going to be able to find now? The Nightmare comes out, but the top lane, it looks like there's going to be the Dream Call once again. Onto Chosen One. Chosen One is holding that Sonic Wave. Global Silence does come through. There's a lot of damage here onto Heaven as well. Do they want to try and dive back in onto this? Because Afterlife, well, he's already got that shapeshift off Afterlife. Is he going to be able to run himself away? A 3-man Earth Spike, it looks like, to stop the aggression coming through onto the Lycan. Meanwhile, while this is going on, it looks like Pantomime as well as Smite Knight are just going to put pressure onto this tier 1 tower mid lane. The charge is going to come through now onto Pantomime, but Pantomime's on the other side of the river. And I don't know if they want to carry on going here. Yeah, charge does get cancelled. So, a bit of a stalemate in both lanes when those fights broke out.
Yeah, Nemiga, they definitely feel very sad not getting anything from the top lane. They put in a lot of numbers for the defense. They even committed global silence, but the Sayu 3-man stun allowed his entire team to disengage there. And meanwhile, PL finished his diffuser blade in the jungle, so this is where Gambit probably will feel a little bit more comfortable to take fights because there's no global, so PL feel a little bit more safe. Let's see what they want to do. They definitely don't mind farming, like we said earlier. Chosen One.
Oh, they're going to be able to move in though. The mana burn comes through. The orb should connect. Yeah, Melojul gets it with the Waning Rift. Really nice rotation from the Vendetta of Sayu to set up and help Melojul get back on the board in terms of kills. Who isn't too far off the Witch's Blade, about 200 gold. And it looks like he's got the Yule Scepter queued up right after that. So he is going to be going back for that, you know, maybe respecting that Silencer a little bit more. As it looks like Silencer charge going to be coming into Pantomime. But Pantomime should be away. The charge coming through from Heaven. Is he going to carry on going? Nah, he's going to stop it just around the cliffs.
Yeah, it feels like Gambit really want to fight now. They're holding a smoke on Bane. They know that global silence is down. This is the best time for Bane to make use of the Fiend's Grip. But unfortunately, they didn't have enough number around the enemy triangle, and that's somewhere that you don't want to fight only when you have 3 heroes there. So yeah, they're gonna a little bit loss of opportunity there, but still, they won't mind slowing the game down as long as they keep their tier 1s up. Because so far, 14 minutes in, all their tier 1s are pretty healthy, I would say. And Nemiga, they don't have any nature tower pushes, so for them to advance the game, they kind of need to take a big fight that could allow them to translate that into tower push, which is not gonna be easy for them to make. They need some kind of maneuvers, they need some kind of item timings for that too.
So, Aincrad is trying to de-push this top lane. You know, he's hanging around with the Lycan. That anytime the Lycan pushes in with his creeps, with the Helm of the Dominator creep as well, he just pushes it back out with a Tidebringer. Does this make him... It looks like it is going to make him a key target, actually, as the rotation comes through from Gambit. Melojul has that Dream Call once again. Are they going to be able to do enough damage to kill him off? Because the TP is going to be coming through from the Baron now as well. So the Nightmare to set up onto the Kunker. Were they going to carry on going, though? The charge comes through onto Pantomime backlines. Dream Call is going to be used, so it does cancel that charge now as well. It's going to be the double Earth Spike. Is there going to be enough damage? Global Silence does go, but it looks like the Phantom Lancer just wants to carry on hitting people. Needs to be really careful, being bounced around by the Nether Strike, though. It's going to be the kill onto the Silencer after the fact. Can they go any further onto this? Dream Call has been used. Shapeshift's out now as well. So Afterlife is going to be able to run himself away, but going to be chased down by Heaven. Heaven, no Nether Strike. So it looks like that's just going to be for the to try and scare him away, as the courier might go down. The drag back, though, there was no Chaos Bolt that connected, and Melojul will be able to get himself out. So it's going to be the carry here for the position 5 Silencer. Kiritich will himself up onto the higher grounds. Is it going to be enough, though? Do they have the damage to take him down? Charged by Carapace onto the Barra, so it's not going to be able to take down the Spirit Breaker. They do get the kill onto Kiritich just now as well. They clean up onto Chosen One, and it looks like they might carry on going here because Phantom Lancer's keeping himself in.
Oh, Kiritich did not expect them to be hanging around there. Like, he walked up to high ground without any vision and walked straight into 3-man. I mean, this fight looked really awkward for both sides actually, but I would say Nemiga, they actually play really well. They have Kunkka there to block to kind of block the initiation. So they use the slip. Oh wait, Melojul? To bash?
Is he going to be able to get himself away from this now as well? He just immediately, he can't get himself out. Rotation in for Vansko. What did the build? Yeah, Vansko level 8. So he did go for the 4-0-3-1. No points into that Glaive of Wisdom, so he's not stealing intelligence just yet. A Smiling Knight on the other side of the map, just trying to farm up. Did he want to go into Chosen One though? Chosen One is showing. It looks like they might try and dive in onto this. Chosen One going to be slowed down, just immediately blinks himself away. So, no, actually Spirit Breaker does show. He's going to go for the charge onto Knight. Knight going to be taking out a lot of damage, but it's not going to be as much as Knight's putting out onto this Breaker. Takes him down. The illusions do the job, so Knight gets himself his first kill of the game there over on the Spirit Breaker in Heaven. Not really going to be happy with that.
That was a very scary one though. I feel like Knight could die any moment there if Nemiga actually put some numbers to respond to that. But meanwhile, I think Nemiga wouldn't be too bad just losing a Bara for that, because your CK has been pushing the bottom side with the Siege Wave, like we said.
Well, it looks like the Spike Carapace does a little bit of damage over to Vansko. Does the next one be coming back in? That's Pantomime going down. He's dead though. And Vansko, well, the Wolves are going to be doing a little bit of damage. But it looks like the body blocks. Vansko should be able to get himself back safe. Yeah, there's even a sentry here, so he should be able to turn these one around onto the Wolves. Tower shots as well. Vansko, he's not going to be... Unless there's a dive in from the Puck. The Puck is going to be coming up, but he gets charged off here by Heaven. And the Shadow Amulet, and there's no reveal. Yeah, there's no reveal. Oh, but they know that the sentry's down, so they know the Nyx Assassin's around here. They see him running away. So Barra's just going to stick around. Vansko, the one right-click Melodule gets it with the Witch's Blade, the reveal. That's going to be a really nice Spike Carapace to try and stop the initiation from Heaven. But X marks the spot, not going to be in the time because the Earth Spike. Sayu, does he get himself away from this? Not with the Nether Strike. He does an Aincrad. Does a whole lot of damage there with the right-click as well to finish off the kill.
Nemiga did really, Vansko really trying hard to get the vision back on their side, but this Observer Ward and Sentry is staying way too long. It's staying alive for way too long for Gambit. This is getting, they're getting a lot of undeserved vision here because Nemiga, they are putting so much numbers on the top lane. However, they just couldn't get the Deward, and now Vansko is finally going to do it. So they're actually losing quite a lot here because of this vision. But thankfully, CK has been scaling quite well with the Midas, and so he's going into the heart of Taras very interestingly. So getting himself, probably aiming to play this, front line role so that he's, and the Kunkka can dish out more damage, and he's gonna put himself in front. He even has a Ram Brace to help him do it. So yeah, I mean, Nemiga definitely looking quite comfortable with their growth. And this is where Gambit feel a little bit stronger too. Actually, they have the Helm 2 on Lycan that could always try to make something work, and that can translate into Roshan very quickly. I think that's going to be their biggest hope here. That's the, that this kind of tempo is the perfect one for Lycan. It's just that whether or not they could find those kind of openings is a challenge for them, because they're getting shut down by this global silence over and over again.
Yeah, and you can see again, Aincrad's just sticking with his mission that he's rotated out of the mid lane. He's just, anytime, this Lycan's not been able to get anywhere near this tier 1 tower on the top lane, it's still standing at 20 minutes in. You'd expect the Lycan to have taken that and then maybe put pressure onto the tier 2 as well, but Nemiga are just making sure that tower stays alive.
Yeah, and that is because Nemiga have been putting so much attention to this top lane tower, because they know that if they lose that will mean that they are gonna very likely lose their top jungle control, and that will mean that they are gonna lose their Roshan control too, which is why they are investing so much for it. And every single time they put 1 or 2 heroes defending that tower, they'll always have the other hero looking to back them up too. So it's been quite interesting to see how they execute this game plan that they have, and their understanding of how strong this Gambit draft is.
Yeah, and you can see there's another rotation coming through as well. The Smoke Gunk is going to start onto Afterlife. Afterlife hiding himself in the trees. Where's the rest of his team? It looks like he's going to try and go for Shapeshift and run himself away. The Torrent won't connect, so he's going to be back towards the tier 2 where the rest of his team might be TPing into now, yeah. Did he go any further though? The X marks the spot, comes out. It's not. It does just connect onto Afterlife. The charge onto the backlines down as well. Phase shift though for the Puck. So Puck's going to try and survive. The Orb comes out using that Yule Step to try and keep himself alive again. Another really good Earth Spike, but it doesn't matter because Melodule is going to be locked down with the Global Silence. Used that Yule Scepter just a little bit too early, and the Global then came out. They were able to pick up the kill onto Melodule, and Nemiga starting to conquer this game here, shifting the fights in their advantage, like you were talking about during the draft, the early game going their way, and Gambit just haven't been able to do anything about this to reply into this aggression coming through.
Yeah, Nemiga instantly walk up to the triangle, steal some camps, block some engines, and also steal the bounty rune too. Yeah, they're feeling pretty strong right now with Park going down. That was a perfectly timed global silence by Vansko too, so very well played to him. Unfortunately, Nemiga, they don't have what it takes to finish Roche. Otherwise, this would be such a good Roshan timing for them. But well, they are able to push back the timing of Gambit here, and Wansko also smartly, he walked himself into the Roshan pit, and Gambit scanned that, so they scanned it successfully. So maybe they think that, alright, Nemiga, could they do something fishy here? But now that they show themselves on the map, that would mean that there's no Roshan snake coming out from Nemiga, and things looks a little bit quiet here now. And we have seen like over and over again, PL looks like he's almost dying in the team fights because of this silence. Now that he has a Manta style, he's probably looked to play some team fights here.
Oh, speaking about fights, so there's going to be the charge coming through from Heaven onto the puck. Maljul, he's left himself in a little bit of trouble here, Heaven. Can he get himself out of this? Vansco is going to be coming through, but it looks like the damage might be enough to take down both the Silencer as well as the Spirit Breaker. Knight gets himself the double kill though. Really well played.
Another sick Impale coming out from Nyx Assassin on the 2-man one, securing the Silencer on the very edge of it.
Yeah.
Do they want to go into Roshan after this? There's no buyback on 2 supports. 20 seconds should be more than enough for them to do it, unless the Nemiga want to take a 3 vs 5 fight.
Yeah, you have to be careful about the boat. I think they need to take down this Kunkka before they fully commit to going for Roche. They're just going to keep the Phantom Lancer as well as a couple of the Lycan Wolves in there, it looks like, but not really doing too much to Roche. And yeah, you can see that they're playing it safe. They know people are coming back alive now on the side of Nemiga. They might just wait for the Vendetta to be back up, maybe get another pick off, and then look to get aggressive, because Sayu's going to be coming in, but it looks like Heaven's already backing himself away. So maybe
yeah, I like how Sayu has been always looking to get some pick off in the side lanes. Now he's gonna find the Bara, and the puck is already on his way. So this has been what Gambit has been doing to really speed up the game a little bit here, just to make sure that, you know, utilizing the pick off potential on Nyx Assassin and Puck to play around the side lanes to make sure that Nemiga they're not getting the team fight that they want. Because right now Gambit, they don't want to invite any kind of team fight, but Nemiga want to force them.
Yeah, and so looking at this lineup, like you're saying, they just need to stall it out. At what point do you think they're ready? Because the Phantom Lancer is going to go straight for the heart. Is it when he gets this item up? Is it when Meljul maybe gets this the Kaya out? Is there any specific time you think that Gambit are going to then step up and say, right, we are ready to fight?
I feel like they're on the reactive side right now. They kind of have to go with the flow, go with what Nemiga has to do. Because right now, you want your PL to get into the heart of Terra's timing, maybe the Skadi after that, maybe the Abyssal. Like, any point where Phantom Lancer feel like he won't be dying in a team fight would be the best timing for them to go. But then that is quite far away. I would say that's like 5 minutes away. Yeah. So this 5 minutes is very scary for her Gambit. They don't want to invite any kind of team fight at all. But look at Nemiga, they don't even bother this tower. They want fight behind the towers because they are craving for fight so much. Right now, they know that taking successful fights is their way to snowball their lead a little bit more ahead. Because they don't feel so comfortable. I don't think they feel comfortable going late game at all against this Puck and also PL.
Yeah, and just as they smoked up, the Lycan Wolf did see it, where they smoked up here around the other side of the river. So you could see Gambit, even though they were split across the entire map, they just played it safe. They played behind towers. You know, they were waiting to see where the smoke would come out. Even the Lycan hid himself in the trees here. You can see Afterlife just still playing it safe, and really well read by Gambit once they saw that smoke come out to just say, you know, we don't need to get aggressive. We can just back up. We can use the Lycan to push out this top lane. The Nyx Assassin as well as the Puck to push out the bottom lane. But while that goes on, Puck, are they going to try and commit? Because Roshan's getting pretty low. Everybody's from the side of Gambit's close now as well. CK does have that heart out, so he's going to be pretty hard to kill as well. It looks like Kiritich is going to be seen. Just carry on doing the Roshan. Backlines. Vendeta's already used. The Barra, the charge does come out. Spirit Carapace now as well. The boat goes into the Roche pit. Roche, that's going to be the global silence. Kiritich picks himself up, and Aegis, the chase is going to come through as Afterlife gets the kill onto Vansco now. Can they do anything to Sayu? Sayu's going to try and get himself away from the Spike Carapace once again, but chosen one with the BKB, so it's not going to be an Earth Spike there to stun up the Queen of Pain, as it looks like Knight wants to carry on coming through. Does he have the biggest of the damage with the Dream Call now as well? It looks like they might be able to step up onto Kunkka. Kunkka's going to try and run himself away, but it's going to be a really nice torrent. At least the Barra does still go down here for Gambit. Fiend's Rip comes out, going to try and do whatever they can to Aincrad, but Aincrad's already up onto the high ground. But there's still, they carry on going. They dive the tier 3s. There's still tier 2 towers up. You'll step onto the Queen of Pain. Queen is going to be able to get that blink away. Queen not super healthy, less than 200 health now, is regenning up. It looks like the Phantom Lancer, you know you have to take down this tier 2 tower, right? You can't just go into tier 3s, but Phantom even diving behind, looking towards the tier 4s. He's going to get the Nightmare off into the silence and just keep himself back to base.
Antoman, what a chat. I didn't even realize that he has a blink dagger. He blinked in, slapped the Queen of Pain, and killed the Queen of Pain in front of the silencer. That was the chattest thing that I've seen in a while from a post-5 Bane. But yeah, you have to give props to Gambit's, fight selection there. They knew that the Sonic Wave, the boat, the CK ultimate were all expanded for the Roshan. So they just all in for that fight. They chased to the tier 3 tower because they know that there's nothing for Nemiga to fight back, and that was such a cool call for them. It took a lot of courage, but yeah, that was very accurate, very good shot call coming from them. So even though the AGs end up to be on CK side, but it was a very good fight for Gambit, and they actually get some goal advantage back for themselves. Park though, okay.
He's going to actually go for the Dream Call, so is he away? He is. He dives up with the Queen of Pain. It's going to be carrying on. Eoscepter comes up now as well. There's not going to be a global for the next 17 seconds. So Puck trying to do his best to try and juke this one away, gets himself into the trees, goes for another orb as well. The Queen of Pain doesn't blink into the right direction. No TP for 46 because he did TP into this fight. So it looks like Meljul just has to hang around here. Sayu, X marks the spot, comes out. He's going to be able to use his Heal Scepter of his own, but the boat comes through. So maybe a little bit of a bait and switch. The Spike Carapace will come through, but Aincrad, does he want to carry on chasing here? It's not going to be the reality if he was just a little bit too far away. Phantom charge, but he blinks himself out now as well. Aincrad setting up with the Nightmare, whereas the rest of the team, the Puck doesn't want to be coming into the fight. So the Spike Carapace comes out onto two heroes once again. Now the strike's going to be used here onto Pantomime. Pantomime will still fall. Aincrad's going to get pretty darn low as the chase comes in from the Lycan now as well. Smiling Knight will pick up this kill. Kiritich has this Aegis still for the next 2.5 minutes. Do want to carry on going, though the global silence does come out, so they're going to be able to absolutely delete Sayu. But Kiritich going to be slowed down by that Diffusal Blade. Do they have the damage to take him down once? Never mind, twice. Kiritich just trying to run himself away, but these Phantom Lancers, the armor toggle as well. They do pop this Aegis. Meanwhile, this is going on. The Fiends Rip come through onto the Queen of Pain. Meljul gets the kill onto Vanscore. Excuse me, looks like they're going to carry on going to Kiritich. Looking for that TP away. Anything to stop that. They don't. The Dream Call comes out just a little bit too late. As Heaven gets that charge away safe as well. So, Chosen One as well as Kiritich going to be able to get out safe.
Oh, that was a 2 for 2, so like no matter what, though, such a big fight for Gambit. I think Nemiga, they overextended there. They were trying so hard to chase the two supports of Gambit, and they're saving each other too. And the counter initiation from Nyx Assassin was on point the entire game so far. You're just constantly getting this multiple man stunned. It's really changing the game right now because Nemiga, they feel like, guys, we have committed so much. Let's go all in on two supports. We have chased them for so long, and they do that. And it led them under, under Gambit's tier 2 towers. So all of a sudden, when you realize that, guys, we are too far out, we need to get back. That was already too slow for them. That was such a big kill because Kunkka also dropped his gem. So giving away this gem, giving away this map control, this vision control to Gambit is a big deal because they are already having a lot of vision from the wolves of Lycan. And now, if they play blind into Gambit's drop, it's going to be so hard for them. You need your vision on the Bane and Nyx Assassin and Puck, and if you don't have that, it's really, really hard for the cores of Nemiga to play out the team fight, especially when the Bane has a Blink Dagger.
Yeah, this Pantomime just seems to be finding so many nice angles to blink. Like you say, that he's not scared about committing to get that Fiend's Grip off. He's getting some really nice Nightmares as well to delay these fights, and hopefully the pause won't take too long. So looking at this lineup now, you've got to think that Nemiga, they've been put on the back foot once again. How do they kind of get that confidence back? How do they, get back into this game? It looks like the Kunkka's going to be going for the Aghanim Scepter as well. So he's going to be able to get that Torrent Storm off, which is going to be able to get, the disruption in the fights. So how do Nemiga need to play? Do they need to just be targeting down Meljul when this fight breaks out? What's the game plan here for them?
I think the target selection, first of all, is very important for them. Puck is a very hard target to kill. If they invest too much into chasing the Puck, that would mean that this Lycan is gonna, go to your backline and kill some heroes when you're not noticing your backline at all. Then the Bane could make use of this Blink Dagger to get some really clutch Fiend's Drip too. So I feel like they kind of just have to quickly kill anyone that they initiate on. So at one point, I don't know if this CK is gonna need a dagger, cause so far Nemiga they don't have any blink, stun, and kill kind of execution here. They have to start their fights with the Bara charged in. That will give quite some time for a Gambit to respond, and also the X mark too. You know, when you X mark someone to start initiation, it takes so long for that to form. So I kind of feel like they need some kind of instant initiation, so that needs to come from the CK. But it's hard for CK to build into the dagger because he needs a lot more other items. And it seems like he's going into a Blood Torn here. So for more burst damage, and for some ways to also bring down the Bane or the PL to stack those silencers on them.
Yeah.
But then against PL going for the... Oh wait, sorry?
I was just going to say that, well, Chosen One's being scouted out. Do they want to go any further with the Vendetta? He's going to blink forward, trying to look for the Puck, and Puck should be away. Yeah, it looks like Puck's away. Yeah, going back to the CK building up into the Bloodthorn, it makes sense because he's trying to get in with the Reality Rift to, like you say, close the gap because he doesn't have that blink. But when you have a Doppelganger, when you have a Phase Shift and an Orb that you can jaunt away to, when you can throw out the Spike Carapace, it's a lot harder than it sounds like on paper for Kiritich to get that lockdown. So being able to silence off to make sure those spells, you know, you can't use those spells to try and immediately juke away as soon as the Reality Rift get used. It makes sense to me. But then you've got to be watching out for the Yule Scepter for the Puck. For I'm assuming the Phantom Lancer at some point should go back for the BKB. So it's going to be interesting to see how this item plays out here for Kiritich.
Yeah, the thing about Gambit is that the team fights are so complicated, right? You have to chase this puck that is super elusive, and then the PL same thing, and Lycan is so quick. So Nemiga, they have to find some way to simplify their game plan here. And it seems like they are gonna make a smoke. Hopefully they can find someone because they are walking in blind right now. They do get the scan though, which is on Melojo, probably the target that they least wanted here. And they're not gonna get it because the manager is out. This is tough, man. That's why, like, when you're making this kind of smokes, it's so hard. You need to really predict the places that your enemy is gonna be. And then hopefully that is not a puck or a PL.
So yeah, so would you have... I mean, it looks like they're going to carry on going, looking to rotate through. Would you have preferred if their advance squad stopped and got some vision down, even if it's technically a waste of a smoke gank? You know, you still have the room to get the wards down for vision for the next smoke, which is actually just going to come straight out here. So they are going to look for the rotation. Meljul does need to be careful on top of this cliff.
He's breaking all the smokes!
He does break it, yeah, they get the vision. Chosen One blinks himself on top, and Meljul's just out, and he says, great, you're clipped for the next 4 seconds as the charge comes through onto Heaven, onto Meljul. Where can he go in terms of damage? Yule Scepter up, X marks the spot is up, but Knight does still have that Manta style if he wants to use it. It's actually going to be the Doppelganger. Now, it's going to be a really nice 3-man Dream Call there as well to keep a lot of the heroes locked down. Global Silence does come through, but it's going to be the Manta style, so the Afterlife gets the kill onto Vanskor on the right end, and Heaven will go down shortly after. Afterlife on the double kill now as well. Chase is on Nightmare onto the Phantom Lancer, just trying to keep him safe. It looks like, do they have the damage to take him down though? Because that Phoenix Grip is still there if they want to go into Kiritich. Kiritich, can he get himself out of this? It looks like Phantom's going to be able to go on the Phoenix Grip onto the Kunkka so they can change targets. After Kiritich goes down, these illusions doing so much damage. It's going to be 4. Will it be 5? Though technically 4 and 1 again, as Vanskor did go down at the beginning of this fight. Vanskor in the trees, gets caught out by 3 heroes and will... Is that a dieback? It is a dieback. That's not great. That's going to be 4 heroes down. Only 1 with buyback, and Gambit up near the tier 2 tower can just push in. Look for at least 1 lane of racks.
Man, this managers, just all the small plays coming from the Bane and the Puck are really winning them the game. The awareness for manager to stand on top of the hill to break the smoke was game winning there for the team, because Nemiga, they really needed this smoke to work out. And if they don't have any way back, and it seems that Heaven is gonna go down.
Yeah, Heaven gets caught out. The dust reveal comes out from Pantomime. He will be able to get himself back into the fountain, so he only loses half his health, but that's gonna be the force out. Now the strike was.
They want to go for the big play.
Yeah, they're
just
gonna
thrown
to end. They know they're in the base and there's no buybacks coming out, so they're assuming that nobody's got buybacks. Kunkka, 19 seconds left on his, but I think this game is going to be over in the next 19 seconds if he doesn't buy back. There it is. TP is going to come through. Afterlife comes through with a shapeshift though. So Barra on the backline is trying to charge you onto Pantomime, but it looks like they're just going to go straight on to Kiritich. Kiritich, he doesn't have a buyback. He's dead for the next 70 seconds. Boat won't connect onto the Lycan now as well. Smiling Knight trying to do what he can. He's got that heart still available, so he's just going to be putting the right click on to aim. Aincrad. Aincrad with the BKB. Wolves chasing him down once again, but Knight doesn't care. Knight's just going to be diving in with these illusions. He takes down the Kunkka. Kunkka, he's dead for 103 seconds. This looks like it's going to be GG. GG is called by Nemiga as Gambit dive into the fountain to end the game. Wow.
What a game coming up. What a series, I should say, like from Gambit Esports. Something to take note is that Gambit Esports, they lost their previous 4 series in a row. And then this, not only that they won this series and that secures their, not only that they broke their own losing streak, they also secure themselves a slot in the lower division for the next season. So very, very big victory here coming up from Gambit. And you can tell that they really wanted it by the way that they are playing. I just have to, I want to give a shout out to Manajo and Pentleman. Both of them are really making this game a lot easier for their own teammates and so much harder for Nemiga too. All these small plays are like insanely impressive.
Yeah, I think that puts Gambit. Do they have anyone left? They don't, so that puts them safe, right? Puts them 3.
Yeah, they are safe.
3 and 4. Yeah, Fantastic 5 go down. So there's not going to be any tiebreakers there. And, well, what else can you say but congratulations to them? And we might be able to get an interview with one of the Gambit players to see what they're feeling right after this. But yeah, and it was just that one team. I mean, they took the team fight in the dire jungle just around the outpost, and to convert that from a fight into a tier 3 straight into tier 4s, Gambit had the momentum and they just absolutely dominated. Yeah, they took that and they ran with it right to the tier 4s.
Yeah, that was just a display of their confidence there. After they were tipping Afterlife during that, so probably Afterlife was the one that is making the shot call. Hey guys, I'm really strong right now with my summon unit and all my aura. He has a drum as well at that point. So yeah, everything was just looking pretty easy at the end. But then again, it was all the build-ups that led towards that timing, which are all the small plays, right? And their understanding of each other's draft too. Like Gambit Esports, they know that the Nemiga, they are looking so hard for team fights, and they were just not giving them at all. Lycan was trying, Lycan was doing a very good job spamming out his summon units at the top lane. Meanwhile, Nyx, Asante, and Puck were roaming around the bottom side, and then you have Pentleman, Bane always just looking, he's just looking out for a PL around the mid lane and blocking smokes for him. So this map, how they played the map was really what led them to those winning conditions that they could finally achieve. Especially when you see PL, once he gets his Skadi plus the Herd of Trust, he doesn't care about any kind of silence or chain stuns at all because he's just that tanky, and Chaos Knight does not have any damage at all with his build to bring down the PL.
Okay, guys, well, stick around. We'll see if we can get an interview with one of the Gambit players to finish up one off. We'll throw to a quick break while we get that sorted out. But again, congratulations to Gambit, keeping themselves in the Division 2. For the next season, and unlucky to Fantastic 5, they won't get the chance at tiebreakers. Yeah, stick around and we'll be back in a few minutes to see whether we get an interview with one of the Gambit players. We'll see you then. Okay, guys, thank you for joining us. We're going to have an interview with Pantomime of Team Gambit, and that victory's got to feel good, right? That keeps you up in the Division 2. You've got to be happy with how you played at 2-0 as well. That's going to feel nice.
Yeah, that's the victory made our life easier. So we're not gonna be playing against Fantastic Five, and we will try our best in next season.
That second game there, you picked up the blink dagger on the Bane. You were just diving the backlines. You know, there was some really good fiend scripts, some really good nightmares. Were you just like full confidence, like going and going, don't worry guys, I've got this, I'll disrupt it, we'll win these fights, we'll win this game easily?
Yeah, there are not many players who are rushing blink daggers on position 5 heroes, but when they realize this item gives you everything, you can escape, you can set up, you can reveal smokes. So I think this is like the best item on heroes which you can set up. Like Virtus Pro game second yesterday, one guy buy it like me. So he make a lot of impact, and this is very good item, and I feel very confident with it. It's not like Aether Lens or Glimmer. I think it's better.
Okay. And the first game as well, with the Death Prophet being picked up, was that always going to be the position 5 Death Prophet, or was that a core that got flexed into a support after you saw the rest of the draft?
It depends on heroes. It's flex hero. When you see your mid laner is comfortable, or maybe your position 3, you can make it core, but they decide that it's better to be support this game, so I have to mm, make everything in my own hands and single-handedly annihilate some fights with my siphons. It's very enjoyable for DP when you're playing against fat heroes. You just use siphons and you alive entire fights. It's so annoying for enemy, and there's like the best hero to fight against fat heroes.
So, not to put words in your mouth, but would you say you're the entire reason that Lifesteal had such a good game in that first game coming up against the Razor?
I think they made mistakes on laning stage. Spirit Breaker Razor is a good lane against Lifestealer, but I was fighting with them, and they always take care on me. And every minute, Spirit Breaker, when was blocking small camp, Razor lose a lot of HP. So after Lifestealer reached his boots, this lane was like good for us. And when my hero reach level 3, it's gonna be so easy lane. I just use 2 siphons and I can fight even against static link. So maybe if they make mistakes on first waves, it's easy lane for us. But if they maybe do it better, I think we had problems. But I hope it's good for us. The wave stealer was 2k above net worth.
Okay. So looking back at those two games now, now that you don't have to play the tiebreaker as well, you know what's the next stage? Because you looking at next season, are you gonna be taking a little bit of a break, or do you dive straight into breaking down the games and seeing where you can improve and like come back stronger in the next season?
We decide to not compete other tournaments except DPC to play good clan wars, but we have a great not great long lose streak, so a lot of huge and good teams don't want to clan war us, and we have to prove that we are a good team again, and we will try to compete in other tournaments and try to win it, so we will have more competition. And there is a huge difference when team trying their best in official game and then they just playing clan war and say like it's not 100%.
Okay. Well, that was. I mean, it was two good showings. So hopefully that puts you on the steps to getting back into the stronger teams noticing you. Leon, is there anything you want to ask?
Yeah, so Pendelman, once again, congrats on getting such a big win for yourself. You were very impressive in the two games. I would just like to ask you about your journey in this DPC season. In the first 2 series, you guys won pretty convincingly. So I guess that definitely give you guys a lot of confidence. But then unfortunately, you guys lost 4 series in a row. So a pretty rocky start. But then again, were you guys feeling any kind of pressure, or were you guys very stressed before you come into this series, knowing that how much this series mean to you guys? And if you guys are stressed or anything, I also want to ask what kind of preparation that you did as a team before coming into this series.
I think first of all we a little bit underestimate Fantastic Five, and all in all, when our hardliner Afterlife woke up, he said we're gonna be playing 4 against 5. He was sick, and it was hard for us. Um, that's why this series could be easy, but we made mistakes. We just after losing, we just come as team and we said that it's bad for us. We need to prepare better. We need to not underestimate any opponents. But mm, in some next series, we just were a little bit unlucky, like it was in previous series against Hydra when we were playing 4 against 5 and we almost win, but some mistakes were made. It's so like a chaotic game. Both teams were making mistakes, and both teams can win it, but all in all we lose. And if you talk about these rejects, I was confident. I was pretty sure we can win them. It does, despite of the fact that they had 0 losses, if my memory doesn't fail me, in before our game. So I think we just was a little bit unlucky against Cis Regex and Hydra. But when we are playing in huge organization like Gambit, they were winning in CS:GO so good. You want to prove that you can be best in your discipline in Dota 2, and it's like motivation. I want to be in first division in next season and play in major if it will be. of
Thanks for giving us such detailed answers. Always appreciate that, and I'm glad that you guys are, coming back from a pretty rocky start to winning this series so convincingly. I'm super happy to know that you guys are feeling very confident too. I think that's all from me, Rob. Do you have any closing thoughts or any closing questions?
No, that's it. Thank you for joining us, Pantomim, and congratulations for this game. And again, I'm looking forward to seeing you more in the next season, and hopefully, the preparations all go well. Thank you for joining us for the interview as well.
Thank you guys for inviting.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.